Whoa, holy cow. Guys, Unreal 6 arrives next year, and I don't know if you know, but The Witcher 4 will be made in Unreal. Of course, the development companies follow a slightly different logic, right? So they keep modifying the graphics engine as time goes by. So for them, this number is a bit more imprecise. But in a way, many of the technologies we'll see in Unreal 6 will be in this game. Look at this. Look at this scene full of characters, NPCs, that have a very organic life. And all of this is thanks to techniques being developed by Epic Games, which has the graphics engine open for you to use. What I want to show today is a feature that will be present in Unreal 6 in a more robust way, but that you can already test in Unreal 5.8. I'm going to open the graphics engine and show it to you. It's the MetaHuman crowd, and it already brings an example that lets you put, look here, 1,000 metahumans inside the scene. For those of you who aren't familiar, with Unreal, this right here is the viewport, which is the view I have of this world. And here I have exactly this demo open. In case you want to know how to install this, I'll show you by the end of the video, okay? Don't worry. And well, we have a map that's already all set up by Epic Games and follows a logic so that we can get the maximum optimization. Right here, I can navigate this map, and there are some things configured, as you can see. There are some colored areas. So we have pink here, we have blue, and here are some areas that of exclusion where they have no color. See? You see? That used nav mesh modifier. So we put these boxes here, and then I'm saying that the characters can't reach that point. And here, on the other hand, there are some target points, that is, destinations where these characters can go. And that's going to make them walk around here. Now, before I talk in detail about how this works, let's hit play here and let the map load. So let me bring this part a little bit more over here, and I'm going to hit play. I even have the character here, look, moving around. It's going to load some shaders, right? This project isn't compiled. I'm running it in real time in Unreal, and look at the number of characters we have here in Unreal 5.8. This is an experimental feature, but look how incredible. Later, I'll put the pawn here that we can control from Unreal itself, which is like a drone. Then we can have a bit more information on the screen. But walking here in the middle of the crowd is very cool. Now, let's start looking and understanding how this works. Well, you see, as I said, they follow a path in a very dynamic way. They just need to have marked where they can navigate, and they follow pretty much the easiest destination, but they also follow avoiding, each other, so they don't collide. The animations here, of course, are simple animations, but guys, to have 1,000 characters running, whenever I look, they're appearing on the screen, it's something fantastic, right? So the behavior is very, very simple, but still, the optimization issue is quite robust, right? Well, so let me get out of here. And what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna change the control type here. Delete the pawn. And now we can navigate here. Well, the project, it's not packaged. What does that mean? When we're going to package a project, it'll optimize a lot. It'll take these codes and it'll close these codes for us in a way that the graphics engine can read much faster than in runtime, like while it's not packaged, while I'm working inside the project. Here we have a little message up there too. Let me disable it for us to make it easier. Disable all screen messages. All right. And now we come back here. How many metahumans do we have? 1,000. How many are on the screen? Let's get out of here. 600. It has a draw distance. That means the ones further away there, they're being removed. See? You can change that too. But here on the screen, I have 678. But notice that it's saying like this. There are 1,000 metahumans. On the screen, there are 667, right? And 0 metahuman actors. What's this confusion? Well, 1,000 is the goal, right? 600 and something are the ones that are actually on the screen, and 0 metahuman actors, because they're not detailed metahumans. So this here is a basic technique. We know, right, guys? If we go back in time, there's a very classic technique, and it's still widely used, which is LOD, which is level of detail, right? Let's distinguish the technique, because the root technique creates distinct models of the characters. Yeah, for example, draw distance isn't that. It's not that, right? Draw distance is culling, so we're cutting things from the screen that are very far away that don't make much sense. It won't make much difference to the experience of whoever's playing. And level of detail is that, right? You'll be changing the level of detail the closer it is to the screen. And here we have this level of detail, and we have something more abrupt, which is precisely this switch to metahuman actors. So if I get really close, then you see that the quality actually stays very high. But they're walking at a very, very, very high speed. Let me see. Let me do something here that'll help us see exactly that. But I can't guarantee the performance will stay the same. Hold, press P and click, and here we put set global time dilation. I think that's how you say it, right? And here we put, for example, 0.3, compile. I pressed Q to organize the nodes, and now they're moving very slowly, allowing us to get close to them without them running away. Notice that you can even set it to an even higher quality. Look here. But let me grab this. Let me put it on cinematic. Let's see. Which is pretty risky because, well, cinematic is very heavy. It's not even for runtime. Yeah, cinematic becomes unfeasible. Let's leave it on epic, which is already high. Let's start again. Look at that. Nice. Wow. Man, there's some issue with the materials and the shadows. Look at the guy's eyebrow. The characters aren't being rendered, at max quality. Actually, their hair needs some configuration, but it's the experimental demo where to access this, you have to download the plugin. Look at that, everyone's eyebrows are all unibrows. Here's the Asian Games Edu guy. But still, it's really cool to see. And well, if you want to access this plugin, guys, you just need to go to the plugin section and look for MetaHuman Crowd. MetaHuman Crowd. But you also have to install the MetaHuman Crowd, which is an important part of the process. This plugin is available right here on the Fab website, and it's officially published by Epic Games itself, so you can be confident in its reliability and compatibility with your project. Install, settings, engine content, plugin content, go to engine, and then go to plugins. On mine, it didn't work for some reason, so I went to the root folder and copied it to my project's plugins folder. And that's the logic. From here, you can copy this, add your own actors to keep running the map with high quality. And then when you get close to this character, you swap it for the character that has, I don't know, actions you want or something like that, interactions or more complex things. So it's in that sense. Here, there are 5 metahumans. Configure the map with where the characters can walk, and that's it. And it's getting cooler and cooler to work in Unreal because I'm seeing that they're simplifying things a lot. And what's very, very complicated, they're leaving more to them, the engineers in there, the programmers, like top tier, to solve and deliver more ready-made for us. This is getting cool. And in Unreal 6, they, are going to bring something much more solid, much more user-friendly, much easier for us to be able to understand and execute. That's a fact. So everything you pick up now in Unreal 5 and start to understand, you'll be able to apply with much more ease when Unreal 6 arrives. And if you're interested in entering this world, there's my course, which is at a very, if you've never clicked, click now. It's at a very friendly price. I'm sure you're going to like it. Thank you very much for watching until the end. We'll see each other in the next video. A big hug. Bye. I'm out.